Hi there, Internet Associate. It's Anthony, and I'm here again with my good friend,
Kyland.
and we're about to watch another episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, this is season 3, episode 14, and it's called Bad Girls. Got any ideas, Kylan, of what this might be about to be taking us into?
Yeah. This is probably about like a little bit of over the halfway point now, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like we're probably gonna get into some more like plot heavy stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like at this point we should probably see a new Watcher.
Mm-hmm.
I think it being about bad girls is gonna be focused heavily on Buffy and possibly Faith, but definitely something to do with Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it might take a whole other approach and talk about and deal with something with other girls altogether. Or
Yeah.
it might just be a mix of both, you know. I feel like, but I guess my point is, I feel like it's going to be female led this episode.
Yeah, makes sense. I noticed you said definitely Willow. Is there a reason you think definitely Willow?
Yeah, because Willow's kind of a integral part of the group to me
Mm.
now that she has her witchcraft powers and whatnot.
Oh, so you meant like definitely Willow, as in definitely Willow along with Buffy rather than Buffy and Faith, but definitely Willow. I thought you meant like Willow above Buffy and Faith. I was like, hmm.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like with them, so
Ah,
like
I
she'll
see what you're
definitely be
saying.
included in this, and I could see Cordelia, but I also could see how it wouldn't really deal with Cordelia, her not being part of the group and all, unless she's like antagonizing the group, you know.
Yeah, makes sense. See what you're saying. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. This is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, season 3, episode 14, Bad Girls.
Right now is not the time. I'm furious. Never
Never ever what?
ever. With Xander.
Oh, that's what they're talking about.
I kind of had a feeling it would be though.
So, what are
Faith is just trying to see how much they relate.
That was kind of comical the way he
nicely diverted, V?
jumped up like that.
Who are those guys, anyways?
I don't know. They didn't seem local.
They're like tourist vampires.
Check these out.
Aw, dang.
What did I say?
That was the diversion.
That PJ. After the 100 days, I'll be on a higher plane. Who knows? With any luck, they'll kill each other. Then everyone's a winner. Everyone, of course, being me.
Mayor is such a conniving dude.
Yeah, also seems to be kind of a germaphobe.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Good observation. Kind of also makes sense when you think back to when he had that conversation when we first saw him and he was telling that guy about his hands could be cleaner.
Oh yeah, huh? Dang, so they really have been setting that up, huh?
It seemed like that was just meant to show how uneasy the mayor could be and, put you kind of disconcert you. But I
Yeah.
guess it also was a bit of a setup.
Willow, what are these?
They're early
Remember when Xander was a skater?
Yeah.
I could dress more like you, but oh, my father has a job.
Dang.
I'm not gonna waste the perfect comeback on you now. But don't think I don't have it.
Xander told her too much about his personal life.
Yeah,
So,
really.
life beyond high school.
She stayed using it against him.
Anyone, please.
Under controlled circumstances, of course.
No danger of finding those here.
Vampire?
Giles looks so tired.
Controlled circumstances.
New Watcher?
New Watcher.
Wesley Wyndham Price. Oh, Mr. Giles has checked
Yeah.
my credentials rather thoroughly. Phoned
Gotta
me,
check them
but I'm glad to see
credentials.
you on the ball as well. Nonetheless, we may as well keep it from him. Buffy, you will go to the Gleaves family crypt tonight and fetch the amulet. Are you not used to being given orders? You'll get used to me.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
Hey, sling's what we were built for. If you're not enjoying it, you're doing something wrong.
What about the assignment?
Tell you what, you do the homework, and I'll copy yours.
See, Faith has life figured out.
Yeah, really.
Whoa. They didn't hear that?
They didn't see that.
Yeah. Ah, dang. She should have picked it up first. Dang, but I guess she didn't have time. Ah.
Yeah, she
That's-
was way outnumbered there.
Yeah. Whoa.
Faith, what are you doing?
Come
Hiding in
on.
there?
Jump
Looking for
scares?
the amulet.
Who said I had a plan? I don't know how many's down there, but I want to find out. And I'll know when I land. If you don't come in after me, I might die.
Not fair, Faith.
Seriously. They really should have thought that through. I don't support that at all.
I mean, I think Buffy was thinking it through, but
These are all
Faith,
the
you know.
diaries, then yours and mine.
See, it looks like they got it all figured out. Faith knew what she was doing. Maybe I spoke too soon. Oh, wait. Whoa. You got her bobbing for apples. He has her in the master lock. Full Nelson. Is he about to drown her? Why is Buffy always drowning?
This is what you get when you.
I hate it when they drown me.
That'd have been crazy if she just died right there. And like the rest of the show just went on with Faith.
The only thing you need to discuss with Mr. Giles is overdue book fees. Understood?
We'll talk.
I mean, this guy's just using Giles' space though. If you don't want Buffy talking to Giles, he needs to stop setting everything up in the library.
It's like I just
That'd be cool if he got a new job as a library and they fired Giles.
Miss Summers?
Being a bad girl.
1 hour.
How come your eye twitches every time I say Faith's name?
No, it doesn't.
Faith.
Xander, control yourself.
Hey, girlfriend. Bad time?
Did the teacher not just hear that?
You can't. You can't, kid.
Where was this teacher when I was in school? Like, they just
Seriously,
don't,
you can just ditch.
Vampires?
they don't hear nothing, see
Unless
nothing.
there's a total of
Ooh, got him. What? They're going wild. Angel always.
This must be tough for him.
Angel's just always walking up, just looking at things from afar, being confused and sad at the same time.
I know, I spoke to Giles, but he said you gave it to someone.
There you are.
Ah, speak of the really annoying person.
What is this dude doing here?
I was certainly giving. How did you know?
Pooches your jacket.
Now, hang on a minute.
Walking around with this thing is like wearing a target.
You'll put it somewhere safe that's actually safe.
You gotta do a better job at doing your job, man. Can't just let the Slayer and Vampire run you over.
Yo, what?
Man, that
fat
looks
suit
just
on
like
this
you.
You know what? Shut up.
But what I don't say is what
Jesus.
I want to say.
This thing is so ugly.
It's like your average 4chan user.
We found it. We had.
Is he feeding?
Oh my gosh.
And his
I
eyes
think this
get
is how
all
the
red?
rest of the world sees Americans. Bruh. Oh my gosh.
So that's Balthazar.
I guess so. He looks like Voldemort let himself go.
Want.
Oh my goodness.
Have.
Faith is being a bad influence. Who was that? Oh,
Dang.
that's reality for you.
Yeah, this episode's wild.
Come on!
And you can tell Buffy's not into this.
Yeah. She was until there started being consequences.
On their bright little faces, I swear I could just eat them up. So, any news about the
I take that literally.
Why is he being ladled with?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's water.
Courage.
Yeah.
Some type of elixir.
So disturbing.
And I have Jack to show for it! Everything that gets in your way! Go! Go!
Dang.
Quiet tonight.
So I guess Willow wasn't
I just wanna
as
get this
involved
done.
as I thought she would
I'm
be.
dying to test out the longbow.
Yeah, it looks
Think
like it's
might be
mainly
one
just
thing.
Buffy and Faith are the bad
Can't
girls.
believe you went back. Hey, no! Stop.
Dang. Faith really just killed somebody.
And they
But I
just
mean, at the same time, it's kind of like, but he didn't seem like a bad person though.
yeah, stake to the heart is so much more gruesome when they don't just, magically turn to dust afterwards.
Yeah, really.
How do they take this guy seriously?
The French. Moisten
Moist in the
Moisten.
front. He said,
is that
planning to
thing?
panic. What is that slit down there, man?
Oh yeah, there's a
Now, hold
slit.
on. We can deal with this rationally.
Oh my
We have
god.
some
It must be how he gets out of his
You
fat
have
suit.
something we wanted. I can tell
Oh,
you.
maybe that's what he ate that guy through. Well, he didn't eat him, but he sucked something out of him.
You will tell us everything. The man who has my amulet. What is his name?
His name is Angel.
Oh!
Unacceptable.
No! He's gonna suck him through the slit. Look at this.
What the heck?
Oh my gosh. He's all red. He looks like Mr. Krabs if he came out of his shell. Oh man. Become invincible. And it had like PTA meeting.
Yeah.
I need a checklist like his.
You don't get it. You killed a man.
No, you don't get it. I don't care.
Dang. Wow, that was a way to end.
Kind of knew they were gonna end it right there too.
You just know everything.
I mean, they don't call me a all-knowing Kai for nothing.
I've never heard anyone call you that, but all right.
They do call me that. I'm just saying. So I've just never been around.
All right. Well, what did you think about this episode?
At first I wasn't really a fan. I'm never really a fan of Faith doing this whole like, Buffy, you should be more edgy or whatever. And then I'm never really a fan of Buffy like stepping out of what she knows is right, because I feel like, but it didn't end up being an episode where they just like painted the town red. They really only did that for part of the episode. So it seemed like Buffy's morals were still intact during the whole episode, which is one thing that which kind of made me like come around to the idea a little bit. I thought that the inclusion of the mayor was pretty cool. It was a little bit more than we've usually seen, but not too much to the point where I feel like it was just saturated with the mayor for no reason. I also liked how both the mayor's storylines and Buffy and Faith's storylines kind of like crossed into each other a little bit. Like you had like the vampire, one of Balthazar's vampires, like trapped by the mayor, and then you had like Alan getting stabbed by Faith. It's kind of interesting how like their stories didn't actually have anything to do with each other, but they both ended up still having like you know what I'm saying? Like they both kind of ended up being inserted in each other's story.
And they kind
So,
of had something to do with each other, right? Because of the swords. Remember,
oh
like the
yeah.
swords that he got at the beginning,
Hmm.
when and it was kind of like a diversion, I guess, and they brought it
Yeah.
to the mayor. I guess that was kind of the initial connection between it all. But yeah, it was cool how they intersected that. What did you think about the introduction of the new Watcher?
Um, I'm not a big fan of him, honestly. I think it would be interesting to have a new Watcher and then Buffy and then Giles. That I feel like that'll be interesting to see. But like just as I don't know. I think he's just Giles light. You know what I mean? Like he seems to be where Giles kind of has this like experience where and like this understanding. I feel like he has that same knowledge, but he still seems very like new to the job.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if it was written to be that way, but it comes off like he still has a lot to learn, or like he doesn't have as much experience as Giles does.
I mean, I definitely think that was intentional, and that's what they were trying to show. Like, this dude has read so much, and he has all this knowledge of what he studied, but he just doesn't have the experience to back it up. And he's only fought vampires twice in a controlled environment and all that stuff. But yet, he came in feeling like, he was so much more qualified than Giles and had the right to be, making the snide remarks and questioning his abilities and all that stuff. So it definitely seemed like that's what they were kind of going for. But when you say Giles Light, I'm just curious, do you mean Giles Light in that his character, in the ways you just mentioned, I guess, is similar to Giles, or that he serves a similar function in the show to what Giles would serve? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Definitely the first one.
okay.
Like where I think the it just not as he serves the same function as Giles, because I feel like Giles is more than just a watcher. He's also like Buffy's father figure, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't think that anybody will ever be able to replace that. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it right now, but I was a little bit I was a little bit shocked to see Willow wasn't as involved in this, but like, I mean, I understand why. She doesn't really seem like the type of person that would be interested in doing. I feel like she would have been like, for the whole experience, you're like, oh no, Buffy, we shouldn't be doing this. Like, I think she would have acted as Buffy's conscience the whole time.
And it was kind of a Slayer thing, Willow wouldn't
Yeah,
understand, it was Slayers only.
yeah. Then I liked. I don't know. I like that little bit with Xander and Cordelia, because I mean, I feel like Cordelia is in her right to be mean to him, but it was also getting kind of boring seeing Cordelia just like pick on Xander without him saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still don't think Xander really has any right to say anything, but like, I can understand why he does. I can understand why he does say something at this point, because it is kind of getting a little old, you know. And like I said, like, I still feel like Cordelia has like these unresolved feelings for Xander that she's not really trying to confront at the time. I think
Yeah.
that there will definitely be an episode in the near future. Maybe not season 3, but I can see one happening at some point where they have some kind of like, some, it's acknowledged at least. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily they get back together, but the unresolved feelings are acknowledged, and she finally has to like decide if she's gonna like be done with him or if she's gonna try to pursue him again.
Mm-hmm. Not to backtrack any, but I did. I guess I still didn't completely ask what I was trying to ask with the Watcher. I guess, and I've asked this question about a lot of things before. When you say you're not a fan of him, I guess I'm trying to determine if you're saying you think that the way his character was introduced and written and all that was flawed and wasn't a good addition to the episode and they could have done that better, or were you just saying you weren't a fan of his character himself and you found him annoying, but maybe you appreciate what he was contributing to the episode? I guess that's what I'm trying to
Uh,
differentiate.
I mean, I guess it's a bit of both. Like, the second one, definitely, like, I definitely see why they had to add him to the cast, and like why he was introduced in this episode. Like, it made sense. Like, I literally said before the episode, like, we're probably gonna get a new Watcher. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I knew they were going to at some point introduce a new Watcher, but like, I also just I don't. I just kind of wish that if it were me, I would have rather it been like the Watcher ended up being like somehow a little bit better than Giles. Like
Mm-hmm.
Giles like he would feel like he was being replaced, and Buffy would
Mm-hmm.
have actually like maybe not liked him at first, but came around to him a little bit, and eventually like showed that she was okay with him as a Watcher, and I would have liked to see how that would have made Giles uh tick, or what that would have meant for Giles in the grand scheme of the show. Because like I feel like right now, like even though there's a new Watcher, it doesn't feel like anything is really gonna change that much. Like I feel like Buffy is still gonna like tell Giles about her business. I mean, about her slaying and all that stuff, and like Giles is still very much gonna be involved.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess technically you said maybe it started out with Buffy not liking him, but she came around to him. When you say all that, technically that sounds like an overarching storyline that could still happen. I more so meant like I guess this specific episode or whatnot. But I see what you're saying though, in
Yeah.
general. One thing, I guess a little. I got two fun facts for you though about that guy, the Watcher. So, well, the actor, really. The first fun fact is apparently him and Allison Hannigan, they met on set filming this, and they're actually married now.
Seriously,
Yeah.
the girl from How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, Willow.
That's crazy. Seems kind
Yeah.
of young.
Who? She does compared to him?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. His name is Alexis Denisov. They're actually married in real life. So
Dang,
that's
that's
just
crazy.
one. Another little trivia that's not really that interesting, but I'm trying to inject my own personal life in any way because I'm an egomaniac. I think I don't think I met him, but I've been in the same room as this guy on a number of occasions because
serious?
he was on that MTV show Finding Carter, and I was an intern on the set of that show in season 2. But at the time, I hadn't even seen Buffy before, so I didn't even know like who he was, and I still didn't really recognize him then because this was way later, so he was way older. But yeah,
Dang, that's
so,
crazy.
Well, yeah, for me personally, I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was cool how they kind of put the microscope on Buffy and Faith specifically, and we didn't really see as much of like Xander and Willow and Oz and Cordelia this episode. It was kind of cool, like it had a bit of a different feel to it in that way, and it felt like I liked how they ramped everything up. Like you could tell that things were about to kind of go south, but you wouldn't really know how. And I know you said it seemed like they didn't paint the city red, luckily, but in a way, I kind of feel like they did, just because at the end of the day, somebody died. You know what I mean? And like, I think it was cool that Buffy, like you said, she kind of caught that moral compass eventually and was like, okay, we need to stop this. We need to kind of pull back. And even after that, she was still kind of going along with Faith. But finally, everything kind of ramped up. It went from like, stealing to, crashing cop cars and all this stuff up to it ramping up to somebody getting killed. And I just thought that was obviously it's a sucky thing to happen, a human getting killed by a slayer. I also thought it was kind of a nice thing to include to show the ramifications of what can happen when the power of being a slayer is used irresponsibly. Like they said in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And so I thought it was cool having Faith kind of be that, that symbol of, okay, this is what can happen if a slayer starts maybe getting slightly corrupted and isn't using their power responsibly. Like some parts of this episode reminded me of Spider-Man 3 when he had, the suit and everything and started just being like a jerk and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I know it's not the exact same, but some parts of the episode did kind of put me in mind of that when Faith was having Buffy go around and like go into the club doing all the stuff she was doing and jumping on Angel and then going out and breaking glass and stuff. Like it was just putting me in that mind of, oh wow, look at her kind of like going to the bad side or the dark side, being an anti-hero in a way. But like you said, luckily Buffy kind of came around to it. But I think the fact that Faith killed a guy is pretty big for her character because she said she didn't care, but it's kind of hard to believe that. But it shows us like that Faith, it just shows us how guarded she is, I think, and how like maybe not in touch she is with her emotions, you could say. Or maybe she is and she just really doesn't care. But then what does that say about her? I don't know. So for me, this episode was really big just for like the growth of Faith and showing the core differences that we already knew were there between Buffy and Faith, but kind of really taking a spotlight and focusing on them and showing kind of, what the outcome of those differences can be when they're really put to the test. So that was one of my favorite aspects of this. Here's some fun facts about this episode. An early draft of this episode reveals Willow's middle name as Danielle.
Huh. Interesting.
I wonder if that's canon or if they just decided to take that out and then just not acknowledge it. At the end of the episode, when Buffy goes to talk to Faith, she was supposed to have discovered Faith dead, having hanged herself. What? Wow.
Are you serious?
That's crazy. It said this was planned until they decided to further Faith's character on the show. Wow. That's interesting.
Crazy. Yeah, it is interesting. I feel like that would have changed a whole lot.
Yeah, really.
But that's kind of dark, though.
It is.
It's really dark.
Really. I mean, I can see them going there on this show, but still, that would be a very dark way to take it. Then it would have really been a cautionary tale of, great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
I noticed, they got a goof section. When the Slayers are on their way to Balthazar, right before Faith kills Alan, Buffy stakes a vamp, and you can see Faith and Buffy move slightly as the vamp dusts. I actually noticed that when that happened. I was like, oh, you could tell the edit right there. Because Buffy was standing in a certain way, and I noticed her kind of go back. After Faith stakes Finch, when she pulls the stake away before he slides down the dumpster, there's no wound, but you can clearly hear the stabbing sound. Allison Hannigan first met her future husband, Alexis Denisoff, on the set of this episode, like I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
While Allison was immediately attracted to Alexis and asked him out, he declined, saying that he didn't date coworkers. They remained friends before they started dating, and for years before they started dating, and then they got married in September 2003.
Nice.
All right, well, I guess I'm about to close it up. You didn't have anything else you wanted to say, right?
No. See you in hell.
Well, that's going to be it for now, everybody. Go ahead and leave a comment down below and let us know what you thought about this episode. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more. And head on over to Patreon if you want to see the full uncut reactions, weeks ahead of the YouTube schedule. That's going to be it. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye.